Hello there, guys, and welcome to Daily Updates. Um, it is the first day after um, we decided to go out and vote, and now we are about to find out what are the results in terms of the voting and the countdown. As you can see, the result dashboard from IEC is painting a picture showing the ANC leading. So there is a lot of categories. So at the moment, we are looking at the national um, results, National Assembly, and they have already completed 2,648 of the 23,293. So at the moment, it's just 11% complete. They still have a long way to go, about 89% to go. So at the moment, the leading parties by voting district, ANC 42%, the DA 25%, and the EFF 8%. The ANC is still leading. The ANC is still big, but the question is, how long are they going to remain on that position? They have received 400,000 votes, and then the DA has 200,000, with the EFF getting 80. And a surprise is the MK party. I don't think a lot of people would have thought that the MK party would have gone as far as the fourth position, even higher than the IFP. Patriotic Alliance has also been doing well, getting 47,000 of the votes. So they've been doing something right. And Zuma has just entered the chart. The ANC was left shivering. This thing of ANC having 42%, people might say that the ANC has already won, but with just 11% complete, we are likely to see ANC remaining on 45 or below that. There is no way that the ANC would be going over 50% at this point. If you look previously, the ANC, when calculations were done, they would be going as far as 60% by now. And then they would just go a bit down when time goes. But just to do a comparison, in 1999, the ANC had 66%. They got 69% in 2004, which was the best for ANC. And in 2009, they went up further. Sorry, they went out down just a bit with 65%, meaning the time of Thabo Mbeki was the biggest, if we don't include 1994. So was the biggest, having almost 70%. And when Zuma came, they declined by just 4%. And then they started declining in 2014 with 62. And the worst was the last elections, 2019, getting 57. So they are probably nervous about what is going to happen now, because a lot of people have been going out to vote to see that they're taking the ANC down. And the DA also, they went from 12% in 1999 to 16%, sorry, in 2004, not 1999, to 16% in 2009. 2014, they went to 22, and they declined in 2019. That's where some of the votes were being taken by the EFF, which in 2014, they were 6%, just a new kid on the block. And in 2019, a test for them, they went to 10.8%, which really tells the story of it is not possible with how strong the ANC is. It is not possible for a party to just come, and after coming, they end up maybe going into government and leading everyone when they just created that party. Because ANC has a lot of support. People keep wondering and saying that ANC will lose, but each and every year we seem to be surprised by them. As you can see, 11% counted. They're already leading, almost two times the vote of DA, and the EFF going as low as 80%. but as time goes, they will increase. The Patriotic Alliance, 2014, 0.07, 2019, 0.04. But this year, they have a huge change. They're getting a lot of votes. They've been speaking to people, and it seems like they've been doing a good job. Look at Freedom Front Plus going from 2004, 0.89, 2009, 0.83 to 0.9 in 2014, and they did well by getting 2%, 2.38%. That's how they did. But parties like the IFP, if you do a comparison, they got 6.97 in 1999 to going to 2019, getting 3.38. That's a very low. So these are the national. The ANC is leading, and as time goes, the IEC keeps updating this list. As you can just see, they've just updated again. ANC just received more votes, 500,000. The DA 309, and the EFF also increased, almost increasing with 20,000 votes. They are on 8% still. So it keeps going up, and the fact that when ANC increases, also some of the parties increase, it means they will still stay on that 40% margin, 42, 40 something. So this is very interesting. And the fact that ANC keeps saying that we are winning, it's very interesting because they might not. And what I've noticed is that we were calling out the DA saying that this time they are going to lose, saying that it is time for them to lose votes because they were not doing well. But the DA is still doing well. The DA is still outperforming the EFF. I'm waiting to see if really the EFF is going to go up, because at this point, the DA is really beating the EFF, as people spoke about the fact that the EFF is looking at the DA as small boys. Julius actually said yesterday that we are not looking at the DA, they are just small boys. We are looking at the big fish. Now, that small boy seems to be doing wonders. And on the comments, Bruce says, what is important to note is that the DA is leading because most of their strongholds has been counted. Have been counted. Sorry, I was just looking at that. Most of them stronghold. Of course, they can say the same about the MK party, because as much as actually, let us just go and look and not just speak about it. Let's do this. National Assembly, provincial. Let's start with the Eastern Cape. The Eastern Cape says so far they've calculated 10%. And it's 502 of the 4,868. And if you look at it, the ANC has 74,000. The DA has 19. The EFF has 10, which means DA and the EFF, there will be a good competition here, but seems like there won't be any competition to the ANC. Remember, the Eastern Cape is the stronghold of the ANC. Regardless of what you do, Eastern Cape people keep voting for the ANC regardless of what. And when you look at the percentage, comparing it, look how they did in 1999. We're just going to compare the past and the present. Present in meaning the 2019. Look at 1999 and look at how they did in 2019. There is a bit of a decline, but when you decline by something like 5%, it doesn't mean nothing. It means the ANC is still strong in the Eastern Cape. The DA went from 2004, 7% to growing to 15%, meaning it is still a dangerous place there in the Eastern Cape, but they keep growing. And the speed is a snail's speed. The EFF went from 3% in 2014 and got 7%. Like, you know, when you speak about the Eastern Cape, they are mud school, no proper houses, no proper infrastructure, roads are not good. There is a lot of corruptions. And the fact that even don't forget about that COVID scooters. But with that said, the people still decide we are voting for the ANC. So it means the ANC is keeping them, is treating them well by that side. If you can see, if really they were not treated well, they should be looking at another party to say that maybe let's give someone a chance. But the fact that they still go as high as 60 is a concern. Even the UDM, Bantu Holomisa was being interviewed. He spoke about you are giving old parties, old people a chance on SABC, but you are not giving us as the UDM. At that point, you look at Bantu Holomisa. He's very old, and he's complaining about the fact that they are not getting media coverage. But from getting 13% in your own province in 1999 to go into 2019 and getting 2.6, Bantu Holomisa should just retire. UDM is not in safe hands under Bantu Holomisa anymore. And if you are beaten in your own province by the ANC, it speaks of something that many needs to worry about. I mean, the Patriotic Alliance has just entered the chat also, 2000 MK Party. It seems like there's not a lot of support for MK Party there by the Eastern Cape. Then let's check another province. The Free State. These are the strongholds of the ANC. Anyway, guys, you can comment on the comment section and let us know what you think regarding this voter turnout and countings, because it is going on, and at the moment going at 11%. It seems like we might not get two-third majority there by the ANC. And Nkululeko says Mandela and Mbeki being closer is a major reason why they do well in EC. But then Nelson Mandela is no longer alive. Mbeki is no longer a president. Why are they still sticking by these former leaders? Because Mbeki retired. And by going home, Thabo Mbeki sometimes is criticizing the ANC, and next thing is coming back and supporting the ANC. If really people put their votes on previous leaders and not looking at the current way of things, then we have a problem, because you'll keep voting for someone because there was once a president that did something for the nation. But currently you might be facing problems. Anyway, in Free State, ANC leads with 52%. The DA is doing numbers here. The DA is still number 2, 21%. The EFF is getting 11%, number 3. And the comparison, 1999 to 2019, 10 years, the ANC did 80. That was a lot, more than the Eastern Cape. They got 80. And in 2019, people started doubting them, and then they got 61. The DA went from getting 8% in 2004 to growing to 17%. And that is a huge jump for the DA. It means they're doing well there by the Free State. And the EFF, they went from 2014 doing 8% and grew to 12%. Freedom Front Plus, of course, this is where they should try and work hard. The Freedom Front Plus, 2004, 2%, and then they grew to 3%. Patriotic Alliance, it's below 1 anyway. But this is the Eastern Cape, where the ANC still rule. The second one, I'm sure they'll be updating the stats as time goes, the national one. This is Gauteng. This is where everyone is saying that here we want to see a coalition or no ANC at all. And it's very interesting. It's like 2021, when it was the local election, when DA showed ANC flames. It is very interesting because the DA is leading. Well, they're leading by 1%, but they are leading. And they've counted 142 of the 2,797 voting districts. the DA is leading in Gauteng. A lot of people were saying that, well, we think that the DA is going to lose support, but hey, the DA is leading in Gauteng, ANC number 232.89. The EFF still fighting hard, 10.74%. Now, which brings the question, is Mbuyiseni Ndlozi ready to be the premier? Is it going to be possible? Because the only possible way that this could happen would be if they say that the ANC grows to nearly 40% and they work with the EFF and they have some kind of coalition, but the force of DA is going to be a challenge. And you look at the votes, they got 27,000, still less, but they are growing to 26 of the ANC and 8,000 of the EFF. There is the MK party, very close to the EFF with 8%. And it's telling us that MK has received a lot of support in KZN, but there's a lot of support also in Gauteng. So this is a very interesting one. Lindo Kutle, ANC will rule forever. So it seems, but it doesn't seem so in Gauteng. It seems like they might not be ruling forever. The comparison is that Gauteng, the DA in 2004, they got 20% and went to increase to 27 in 2019. And now it seems like they are going beyond 27 to probably 30. And the ANC in 1999, they were 67%, declining to 50% in 2019. This is where the rumors of ANC cooking the pots in 2019 to go in to get 50.19%. This time, if they go below 50, there won't be no possibility to cook the pots because it might not even be 49, it might be 45 or 40. So the cooker must be ready if they want to work. The EFF went from 2014 getting 10%, which was good, to getting 14% in 2019. Now the question would be, can they break that 15% mark and go closer to 20%? Because if they do that, then it's goodbye to the ANC, because there's no way that the ANC will win, having lost to both the DA and losing other votes to the EFF. MK party. Now, this is the new kid on the block. And this is the reason why there is a decline in the ANC. The people of Gauteng are hurtful with the ANC, and some of them have been running towards the MK. You look at the Freedom Front Plus, they are having 3,706 votes, having gone from 2004 doing 1% to 2019, 3.56. And of course, Action SA has not done anything, but there is PA still on 0%. But also, if you look at Action SA, they haven't been playing a role previously because they were not formed. But Action SA is on 2%. A lot of people have been speaking about Action SA being the Kingsmaker in Gauteng. 2021 elections fooled a lot of us because we thought that Action SA is going to do well, but it seems like, Mashaba, you might go to parliament alone. Let's see, KZN. This is a very interesting province because even before I open this, I know MK is going to be leading. And then Tembo Isaac says South Africa, if they vote for ANC again, they should never complain about load shedding, crime, and corruption. The thing is that we all go out to vote, and if you say someone shouldn't complain, they are also going to tell you that we see nothing wrong with the ANC. And here you have it, KZN, and 4.91%. Look at the voting districts there by KZN. That is why I'm saying that if the ANC loses KZN and they lose Gauteng, it's going to be very problematic for them. Only 4.91% counted 244 of the 4,974 voting districts, and MK is leading by 41%. If you are going to lead me by 41% when just 4% has been counted, then I need to worry. Then I have to worry that you are a force. And ANC has 19%. I mean, ANC. And they're giving ANC the support over IFP. Seems like the do for Buthelezi is not working because IFP have been lazy. They've been very lazy these elections. Speaking about Buthelezi left and right, when they should have been focusing more on reaching out and growing this political party. Anyway, they got 18.02%. Look at the votes that MK has received with just 4.91%. People of KZN love Zuma. They believe in Zuma. And Bongiwe says, even if DA, EFF, MK don't take national, they should excel in all the provinces they win. So we decide for next election. Okay, so MK got 32, the double. They got 2 times what ANC received. ANC received 15,000, IFP 14. The DA, they are on 11. And the comparison is that 1999, 39% of the ANC to getting 54%. The highest for them was getting 64 in 2014. So it does seem like Zuma was loved, 62, 64 in KZN. But once he left, they went 54. And now it seems they are going to go below 30 because of the new kid on the block. The IFP doing so well in 1999, 41%, to going as far as 16%. And here's the DA with 8% until 13. So this paints a picture of MK party making moves. They are probably wondering there, Bofikile Mbalula, that had we decided to stop the MK, we could have been enjoying all these results we are seeing. Now they failed to stop them in court. This is what we see. MK is giving ANC chest pains. And what is happening will be a big problem. Let's just check another province. Mpumalanga. Surely the ANC is going to win. As you can see, the ANC has 55% in Mpumalanga, and there is MK. Wow. This is very interesting. The people of Mpumalanga chose or are choosing the MK party ahead of the EFF and giving them number 2. Wow. It is very interesting to see the MK getting such a lot of votes over the EFF, but we're still on 13%, 242 of the 1,811 voting districts. This picture is the reason why the ANC has been losing nationally. Because in the chat room, MK party entered, and when they entered, they said, ANC, we are gunning for you. So far we have MK taking votes from the ANC in KZN, in Gauteng, and in Mpumalanga. And if they continue doing that, that is the downfall of the ANC. As you can see, 55% means if these two parties keep growing, something is going to happen. I mean, here's the DA falling behind the EFF with just 7,000 votes and getting 8%. It's a very interesting picture that we have so far. All the provinces except the Eastern Cape, the ANC see flames. Even in the Free State, you can see that change is coming. From the Mpumalanga, there is the Northern Cape, and the ANC is still declining in the Northern Cape. Ndapanda says ANC is doing very well. Very surprised. Actually, I don't think they are doing very well. If you put it in the picture of saying that they're doing very well because we thought they are going to lose a lot of votes, then you can make sense. But if you speak about the fact that they did like this in 2019 and they're declining like this in 2024, the ANC really is not doing well. The picture of Northern Cape, that is how you see the ANC is not doing well. I mean, as far as, look, actually, they are almost close. By tonight, the Northern Cape would be done because Northern Cape is on 48.63%. And you are on 48, but you are still not winning. You are still not going over 50%. They have 48.4%. Then you have to worry and say that in Northern Cape, ANC, you have to be careful. And along comes the DA getting 23%. And another surprising factor, what I've thought all along is that the ANC will be number one, and some provinces it might decline. The DA would be number two. And I really thought that all these many provinces, the EFF is going to be number three. Just for one reason, because if you look at how they campaigned, the EFF was so busy, more busier than the Patriotic Alliance, the DA. They were very busy. And well, it might be understandable that some provinces, the people from that provinces align more with people like Gauteng and Mackenzie. So it only makes sense. But the fact that the EFF has always been there, speaking to them and helping where needed. I mean, one thing they're always saying is that when the people of South Africa need help, they run to the EFF. But when they are good, they don't run it. They don't run towards it. And you really ask yourself that if really uh, the EFF has been helping and showing support, shouldn't these people be considering them most of the time? Mlungisi says a lot of, okay, deleted that comment as I was about to read it. Anyway, the Northern Cape speaks volume. Let's see the comparison. The ANC got 64% in 1999. They got 57% in 2019. But if you look at all of them, from 64 in 2004, they got 68 with Thabo Mbeki. And then Zuma came, they went to 60. Still a little bit of decline, but not something that can stress you. And then went up to 64 with Zuma. They believed in him. And when Ramaphosa came, they declined a bit. So now to see them on 48 is telling us that there is still a possibility that ANC might not win an outright majority in Northern Cape. A lot of emotional voters, no logic, this should change. Unfortunately, people don't see it that way, Mlungis. And the DA went from 11% in 2004 to, oh, they did well, to 2019 doing 25. And look, they are already on 23. So the introduction of Patriotic Alliance has declined the DA. As much as these two have been declining the ANC, but Patriotic came and took votes from the ANC together with the DA. And we have the EFF on 10% with the PA. Now, there is not a lot of difference between these two. Hopefully, the EFF will go up and replace the Patriotic Alliance. When you look at their last election, they did 9.7. So if they will be on 10%, it is killing the ANC. With Freedom Front Plus going at 3%. The Northern Cape is speaking volume. They are declining the ANC. They have rejected them. Here is another province, Limpopo. This province is more like that province you call the Eastern Cape. They all enjoy and love ANC, especially this one because that is where Ramaphosa comes. Let's see. You see? 64%. The ANC is leading Limpopo by 65%, sorry, 65.72. And another surprise for me, DA and the EFF. Really, I expected the EFF to really overturn that lead and take second position. But as much as the difference is not that major, but it's a worrying. And we can all agree no one is going to beat the ANC in Limpopo. No one is going to defeat the ANC. It won't happen. Bongi, when Mr. Zuma once said ANC will be in power until Jesus comes, the power, uh, see that clearly. They should remove Ramaphosa and then people there will be change. People will change mind. They should remove Ramaphosa. I don't know about that because the only way for Ramaphosa to leave is for ANC to decline nationally. And as far as we see, they will decline. But the most threat is the ANC. The DA. The ANC can just say that we declined below 50. Let's work with the DA. The DA will jump to that proposal. So now, what could lead to Ramaphosa leaving would have been the EFF doing so well because the EFF would probably not compromise. But look, 7%, 226 of the 3,216. And with that, we have the ANC leading, the DA coming. But I would like to compare the last election with the current one. Who is overall leader thus far? National. The leader is the ANC, but they are not leading so well. We are going to go to the national after we are done with the province because it keeps changing. And then look, ANC in 1999, wow, 88% in Limpopo. And then they went to have 75% in 20. ANC loves, Limpopo loves ANC because um, you have something like a 78, 84, 89. Actually, 2004 was the best for Limpopo. Limpopo loves the ANC. I heard people saying that, well, that's where Julius Malema comes. He's going to whip the ANC this time. But the people of Limpopo are not agreeing with that. They love the ANC. And now they're giving the DA a chance, which got 3% 2004 to 3% again 2009, growing to 6% 2014, and going down to 5% 2019. They are currently on 13%. If it goes up like that, it might not make a lot of difference, but nationally, it is going to affect the ANC. The EFF on 12%, they have 8,000 votes. 2014, they had 10, when going to 14% in 2019. And then they're currently on 12%. Hopefully, it's going to grow as time goes. Who's leading Gauteng and KZ and Sibusiso? We are just going to go to it afterwards because last time we checked, Gauteng was led by the DA and KZN, of course, Umkondo Wesizwe. And then let's just go to Northern Cape. We're just left with Western Cape, and then we'll go back to the national. The Northwest, they also love the ANC there. And then the ANC has 62. There is the EFF finally. They have overtaken the DA in Northwest. So the ANC has 62, the EFF 14%, and the DA 12%. And along comes the Freedom Front Plus with 4%. MK party still there. Actually, I forgot to just do something. Forgive me. I didn't check the MK in Limpopo. They had 467 votes. Papa Penny is probably doing some work there. So they didn't get a lot of votes in Limpopo, but in Northwest, they're also not doing good. But if you look at Northwest, 7% completed. So when time goes, they will still get to increase. And in Northwest, 7% calculated, And then the DA going on third, just under the EFF, Freedom Farm Plus. And then the MK is 301. Action SA again. This is the party that has been speaking a lot and saying that uh, we are going to take this leadership, but 250 people under the 7% have decided to go with the Action SA. And then the country of the province of the DA, the Western Cape. There you have it. DA wants to retain the Western Cape and they are leading. As of now, we've just 20% calculated. Oh, that's a lot. They are working there, but also their voting district are not a lot. 328 of the 1,572. And you have the DA leading by 51%. Let's check how they did. Oh, they got 55 2019, and the best was 2014. So also there is a decline. And you know there's only one reason to the decline. The introduction of Patriotic Alliance is giving the DHS pains again, getting 127,000 votes. The ANC, 19% with 48. And the ANC should be careful with the PA because they might be overtaken. And then the EFF, oh, that's very low. EFF coming with 3%, 9,754. The comparison of the EFF is that they got 2% in 2014 to getting 4%. So basically, it seems like the EFF is running there below 5%. And the PA, this is a surprise. But no one can be surprised because we know that is the strong base there by Western Cape, the Patriotic Alliance. And there are parties like Al Jama, 3,001%. And where is Mkondo Wesizwe? Okay, the people of Western Cape are giving MK a chance, but not much of a chance with just 1,000 votes. Hopefully they will grow as time goes. So this is the Western Cape, and we are done with provinces. Of course, each and every hour, each and every minute, they keep changing. We're just going to check the national. Black Solutions, it says vote for Malema. I don't feel sorry for South Africans. How can they continue to vote for people who are keeping their country down? And then Braden says, what kind of people still voting for high inflation, high unemployment, high crime stats each and every quarter, load shedding and high expenditure of governance, incompetence, MPs or ministers? Well, the thing is that we speak a lot about let's vote for change. But remember, one thing the ANC does is that the ANC goes and give these people what they need at the last minute. I complained a lot about the fact that once January hit, they were fixing roads, they were doing all this thing, no load shedding. Some voters forget easily. And we need to be serious about South Africans. Some of them, they are not active in terms of politics. People don't watch news. You speak to some people who don't vote, they tell you, what is voting going to do for me because I'm jobless? But you are not going to get a job if you keep sitting at home and not voting, because that same party that you are complaining about will keep winning. So if people are really educated and given a chance to learn about news of the country and politics, maybe there would be a change. But until then, hey, high inflation will keep going. Ndapanda says, you are right, Tony. And Sipo says, how do you arrange tabs as you did? Okay, show us KZN, ANC leading overall. Surprised. Okay, before I go to national, they say show us KZN. I'm sure they want to see the MK. MK is leading in KZN. As you can see, 41% with just 4.91% counted. But let's go to national, and once time goes, we are going to get the opportunity to just look at, sorry, the opportunity to look at some provinces because it changes from time to time. This is how it looks nationally. And so far it's 13.99%. So we are almost at 14% complete. Just a second. I just want to check if there are any updates regarding the IEC because they should be doing media briefing when time goes. Um, okay, so far they haven't made any notice regarding media briefing, so we'll just wait to see how or what they say regarding that. So we are on national. Uh, national, the ANC still leading, and they are leading with 53%. I said something about they are going to decline. It seems like each and every time votes are calculated, they keep going up. And I would be very surprised if the ANC goes above 50%. I thought a lot of people want to vote them out. But hey, look at the DA also. They are increasing from 20%. They are, as of now, on 25%. Am I on national? Okay, sorry. I think I pressed, I did something wrong in terms of national. Let me just refresh. I probably didn't see right. Okay. No, I was wrong. The ANC is not leading by, I think I pressed a province instead of a national. The ANC is not leading by 50%. They are still on 42%. Oh, sigh of relief. Because at one point I thought they were up. The ANC is still on 42% with the DA on 25 and the EFF still trying to fight on that 3%. Let us see on that 8% as of now. Is that 10% possible for the EFF? Did fighters not vote in numbers though? Let's hope these numbers change. And you'd be interested to know that MK is sitting perfectly on 7.85%. This is very good, guys. This is very good. Anyway, guys, if you can do, please just click that like button just to keep our likes going up. And as you can see here, this is the bot. I'm just gonna go away for a second. I'll be back, but I just want you guys to feed your eyes on this. As time goes, they will keep refreshing, and then we'll see a better picture of what's going on. I'll be back in a minute. Hey there, guys. I'm back. So as we have the percentages, then let me refresh and see what's going to happen. Siabonga says, my brother, for me is a win if the ANC stays below 50%. I can't ask too much. I can't ask too much. My blah, we are a country with illiterate people in terms of understanding politics and economic conditions. I wouldn't say illiterate per se, yeah, but people are ignorant. There are people who choose not to go and vote. Before we just we come back and refresh. Let's just see what's going on in terms of trending topics, election results. KZN looking at other provinces voting for ANC, and KZN really did well in terms of voting these guys out. I mean, how do you expect to vote out the ANC when things like these are happening during votings? How do you expect the ANC to lose power when things like this are happening? Because it seems like the ANC will keep winning because young people are not going to vote in numbers. We will not get out of the governing party if people keep doing some things like this by not voting. And well, the ANC will keep on winning. Let's see if there are changes. I guess we'll go back to the provinces just to check what's going on with the provinces before we come back to national. Sorry, national 13.99%. They're still on 13.99. Let's go back to the provincials. And on the comments, Lekhogonolo says you are almost got a heart attack with the 53 update on the ANC. Yeah, I got it. I almost got it also because, wow, I thought it's over. IFP's date in KZN expected it after the founder passed on. It makes sense. Galaxy. Yes, I think they decided to do it for Buteles, and that was the end of it. And let's see. As long as they don't get majority, it's fine for me. Because in Parliament, they are always protecting their MPs because of majority in Parliament. We young people went and voted ANC. Wait. Rabetu says, we young people went and voted ANC. Okay. So young people went and voted ANC. I thought a lot of young people are speaking about voting out the ANC. So it does seem like I was not aware that you guys went and voted out the ANC. Let us start again with the Free State, the Eastern Cape. Just a refresh. So they are on 13.99%. And sorry, man, it didn't refresh. Provincial and Eastern Cape. Provincial and Eastern Cape, we are running at 10%. And the ANC is still leading with 63%. The DA 16% and the EFF 19%. And then there is sorry, not Gauteng. The Free State sitting at around 21% complete. Leading by party voting district, the ANC is on 52 in the Free State, which is scary because this is a race that they can easily lose. The DA at 21%, the EFF running at 11% on number 3, with number 4 being the Freedom Front Plus. As you can see, VF 5%, Umkondo Wesizwe. Zuma is giving people the run for their money at 2% in the Free State. By the way, isn't the Free State the province where Who's ACT? Isn't it Magashule ACT? In your own province, you get 1,147 votes. I thought they respect Magashule more in that province called um, the Free State. But he's losing. Oh my word. And one of the parties that I really think is trying shame. It's the ATM. This party is trying, and I didn't check really. They are from the Eastern Cape, and how did they do? They got 895. Wow. Okay. The biggest one, the business hub of South Africa. It is running under the Democratic Alliance. The business people in Gauteng are saying that enough. Let us give the chance to the DA. And indeed, the chance is being given to the DA with the ANC lacking at 32.89%. Oh my word. And there is the EFF coming. There is the EFF at 10%. And Julius said, from here, I'm running straight to the union building. But possibilities can happen, miracles can happen. They can do a coalition and take him to union building. But if judging by the votes, it's impossible to go to union building, Mr. Malema, because it seems like the people are really not running towards the EFF. As you can see, they have 10% Gauteng, and another kid on the block, the MK, 8% in Gauteng. They love the MK in KZN. They still love the MK in Gauteng. 5% completed. 5, it's rather a small number. But one wishes the number 2 doesn't increase, rather number 1 and the rest, so that we can finally get to know what is going to be happening in Gauteng, because we've been waiting for something to happen. Finally, a new premier in Gauteng. Can we really have that? Because as of now, if you look at it, DA is leading, ANC comes second, but they're neck and neck. It doesn't matter if the ANC leads, but as long as they don't go above 40%, it is a win for the people of South Africa. Let me tell you, if the ANC now loses Gauteng by, even if it's 40, what's going to happen is the same thing we are seeing now in the local we've seen in local elections, when they decided to have a mayor in Joburg who's not ANC. They got some guy there who doesn't know what he's doing. He's under Al Jama. They got some guy there who looks clueless and put him there. But now what's going to happen is that the EFF said that they are looking at giving Mboiseni Ndlozi that position of premier. But one thing I know for sure is that DA and EFF, unless things change, their relationship in terms of working together is not the same as before. So the EFF, if they want Mboiseni to be the premier, they have 2 choices. Try and convince the DA, and if you can't, work with the ANC, which could probably say that we give Mboiseni the premiership, and the rest of the positions are allocated mainly to the ANC. Maybe if that happens, then the chance of Mboiseni Ndlozi getting that position could happen. But with the DA, I doubt. But remember, there is MK party still. If ANC works with EFF, they would have to bring MK around also. And Herman Mashaba, 2%. I thought people said they are voting for Action SA. Tero said, okay, I've read that. What about Free State? I'm going to check it soon. Braden Rabbits, okay, responding to Rabbits on that one. So Action SA sitting at 2%. I thought you guys love Herman Mashaba. I thought people are going for Herman because Herman should be over VF plus. Herman in Gauteng should be contesting with MK, but Herman is on 2%, even less than VF. But let's see. Gauteng, the KZN, spoiler alert, MK party is leading this province, as you can see. And they're not just leading it by a small margin, they are leading it with a huge margin, 41 compared to 19 of ANC and 18 of IFP. And then we look for the EFF, they're below the DA. The DA has 14% and the EFF has 2%. That's a worry for me. That's a worry for the fighters because 2%, you should be going as far as 9%, but we know the EFF is not really big in KZN. And the last time, want to note, the EFF went from, what is that? Is that 1.8% in 2014 to get huge support in 2019 because of Ramaphosa. When Ramaphosa became the president and booted out Jacob Zuma, there were a lot of people who were dissatisfied with how this turned out. And they gave a lot of support to the EFF and other parties. As you can see, now Zuma is in the chart. And when Zuma was introduced, EFF votes are minimized. ANC votes, they are going. IFP votes are going. MK is in the chart. No one can do anything to Zuma at this point. MK party will be leading that province. MK is definitely going to go over 50%. Even if they don't go over 50%, what are the chances? Can they get the votes from the EFF? If EFF don't go to 5%, it's going to be a challenge. Then it's going to mean that MK will be working with the IFP. And the ANC will be booted out. They have no say in this province of KZN. If they don't do anything about it, it's over. Because 4% and you have MK at 41, I'm telling you, when it's done up to 50%, MK would probably break that 50% mark. Let's see. What are the other parties that are contesting in here? Look at this guy, Moodley. 132 votes. And he has a picture of himself wearing glasses. And he has more votes than ATM, Al Jama, Patriotic Alliance, Bosa. That is another party that we didn't really cover in terms of national. I'm going to have to check Musi Maimane, how the chest pains are going. And then we have from KZN, let's go to Mpumalanga. What are they saying? Please, youngster Lauren Knight says, please, youngster, go in number and vote out this ANC. But it's completed. What, in the next 5 years? Because now there's no time for them to vote. But Bekmele Bahlangane, there's just something there. I can't see some of the comments and defeat ANC nationally. Okay, defeating ANC nationally is the point that they have to make, but at this point, we'll just go to nationally. Hopefully, they've just updated it. Mpumalanga, the province where the ANC is also leading. They are leading by 55. And wait a minute. This is Mpumalanga. Oh, yeah, we covered it. ANC leading by 55. The surprise in Mpumalanga is the MK party. They have KZN, they have Mpumalanga, and they have Gauteng. The ANC really is having sleepless nights with regard to the MK because the ANC voters have rejected the ANC and went with the MK party in 3 provinces so far. They are leading in KZN. That would be where they are premier. They have a big force in Gauteng, and now look, in Mpumalanga, they are number two, 16%. 13%, 13.36% counted, but the EFF still, uh, how's the EFF doing Kwamanyama province? As you can see, they are doing better, but when you speak about uh, the MK party, they are doing worse. I did not expect the EFF to be trailing behind the Umkondo Wesizo party. 14,000 votes to 11,000. Of course, it's just 13%. But when the counting goes up, if really it happens that MK is still second position, that would be very interesting. So now imagine if ANC goes below 50%, miracles do happen. And you have 16% with the MK, or even going as up as more than that. And then you have the EFF on third. And next thing, all parties combined, they decide that the ANC would probably, if they go to 48%, let us boot them out and work together. Here's another possibility. Aubrey says, how's Claudi doing? What's Claudi's party again? I forgot what that guy's. Someone please remind me. What is Claudi's party? Okay, anyway, in Mpumalanga, that's what's happening. And ANC should be really scared if they want to win this, because Mpumalanga, they have been rejected. Then let's go back to Northern Cape, where Patriotic Alliance is showing some full force, 48% still, with the voting going up. Now they are at 48%, almost at the mark of 50%. And you have ANC still leading at 48. And remember, if you win by 48, it is not a win. Because if they all come together, you're going to cry. You're going to have a problem. ACM, we are going to check ACM nationally, Aubrey, in a moment. So there is 48 ANC, 23 DA, and 10% PA. Again, Patriotic Alliance is fighting with the EFF, and it seems like now the EFF is coming closer and closer on 10%. That is a province that I was speaking about, the fact that with how much the EFF has been spending and campaigning, it's such a surprise to see the Patriotic Alliance fighting neck to neck with the EFF in terms of this province. And you have Freedom Front Plus, NCCM, Hope for SA. There's no hope for these ones. Let's see. The Limpopo, that province where Matamela was born, if not mistaken. 65% with still 7% completed. They say that the voters will remain with the ANC in Limpopo. 43,000, still a small margin of calculations. Voting completed. 43,000. So 7% doesn't speak volume there. But what we know is that the possibilities that they're going to go to 70%, because Limpopo they love Cyril. And it's a worrying. They are rejecting giving the EFF a lot of votes, and they opted to give Cyril a lot of votes and go to parties like the DA, with MK party still remaining. I think there are no changes in Limpopo. They are counting slow in that province. And then Northwest. Northwest has ANC and Limpopo at 14%. The EFF at 14%. ANC is 62. The EFF at 14%, with the DA coming behind and at that position. And you have your MK, 331 votes. Some voters there are deciding to vote for MK. Also 7%. So 7% is still a small margin. Okay, I'm gonna go to that. Let's check Western Cape. So you still have Western Cape, the DA 51, and that Patriotic Alliance force. Imagine If it was to happen with 20%, if it was to happen that they are done and then Patriotic Alliance goes above the ANC and then the DA lose a lot of support, that is going to be very interesting because if many provinces don't have an outright majority, it means a possibility for coalition. And with coalition government, we need to be honest about that. It's not always a good idea to have a coalition. The biggest example you have, the city of Joburg. They have someone there who doesn't know what he's doing. Is sometimes you think he's working for Pick It Up, and sometimes you think he's the mayor. So if we are going to have a lot of coalitions and we are going to get the same leader as that mayor of Al Jama in city of Joburg, we probably are not going to see service delivery. Anyway, PA, 31,000 votes. EFF has 9,754. And then Al Jama down there, there's no MK here. Okay, MK has 1,213 in the Western Cape. So I think we are done with the provinces. Let us refresh the national, as a lot of people were asking about certain parties. National, we are still 13.99, so probably there are no changes in terms of voting. But let's see. MK is number 4 with 7%. Difference between them and EFF is just 1%. And the DA with 25%, which is very good. And the ANC is complaining about that 42%. You have the PA doing a good job in terms of the overall voters, 4%. Freedom Front Plus at 1, the IFP having 22,000, and Herman Mashaba. You guys did not vote for Herman. He's not leading anywhere and he's not doing good anywhere. But I think some parties like Herman Mashaba, they are just going to get 2 or 3 seats. Even 3 is a lot. 2 seats. And then that will be enough because Herman Mashaba will get the opportunity to be in parliament. I think HNSA is such a disappointment. I had not expected them to do like this. ACDP, Triple C. Is it not the Claudi? No. Actually, no. Triple C has a 0.56 UDM. The death of UDM is almost at our eyes. We are about to see the death of UDM. I mean, 0.47. Al Jama, that Pick It Up guy is about to go and become the premier of Gauteng with just 0.35 there by Al Jama having 4,710. There is a good ATM having 0.33 and Bossa. What happened to Musi Maimani though? Because we thought Musi Maimani is the guy who's going to make the changes. But Musi Maimani is on 0.32, 4,195. He must be praying for 1 seat because if not, he's going nowhere. Rise Mzansi. Oppenheimer's giving them so much money. They still cannot break and give themselves a lot of. I know it's just 13.99, but it doesn't mean that the increase will be good. Rise Mzansi, Hope for SA, 3,000 votes. PAC. Well, PAC, they should have just left these elections and just say we'll sit them out. ARA, UAT, AM4C, NCCM. Did someone ask about 4C, NCCM? I don't know. Eastern Cape, Batlala, Bakala, but they are the first one to vote, Sanele. And Obrise's Action SA was just bashing other parties. They didn't really tell what their plan is. Yeah, no, it's difficult for them. Is it AIC that political or ACM? Okay, AIC is that one who frustrated the ANC in 2014. Azapo, 1,000 votes. I'm sure these guys who getting 1,000 votes are voting for themselves. ACT, there is Claudi with just, no, not Claudi. There is Ace Makashule with just 1,689. I'm still looking for Claudia. I'm not seeing anything. AAC and NFP also, they are having less amount of votes. And here's Cope. Cope is dead. Willie Madisha and Lekota must just know that it's packing their bag and it's over. 0.1%. How many guys are going to be going to parliament when the votings are done? Because 1,000 at 13%, it is a worry. Siasa 1,179, APC 1,000, PMC, ACC. I'm still not seeing ACM. ACM, yes, Laudi. Yes, the SABC board have voted. They have voted in numbers because of the 90%. Laudi is low at 0.04%. Is he going to go to parliament? Because if he goes, we have comedy. But at this point, it doesn't seem like a lot of people are giving them a chance. Now, these are the lowest. And another one, Sarah. I mean, why did that lady decide to leave Cope and go and join Sarah? Because now he's doing way worse than Cope could have done. And how Cope is doing currently, 292 with 13% vote counted. It's such a shame. They thought that they are going to do big, but look at them. And Shiluva. I've said about something about Shiluva that if Shiluva was careful enough, he wouldn't have named the party Shiluva. If these guys were serious, they wouldn't have named that party Shiluva. That is the only problem that I had with the guy of Shiluva. And also, why did he not just join in with Musi Maimane and Eman Mashaba? Let them work together, even though there are a lot of egos. And Musi, what a shame, man. Musi speaking a lot on Twitter, but the same Musi Maimane is doing badly. What does he have to say? I'm sure he's hiding there because he has nothing to say. Oh, he last tweeted 11 hours ago. He's having chest pains. There is no way that he anticipated this thing of having 4,000 votes in just 13.99. You wonder if they're going to break that 70,000 mark. It looks like they might not. So as of now, there are no lot of changes, and probably they're going to change it in an hour, but it's looking good. The ANC is not as strong as we thought. Maybe people have forgotten about Nelson Mandela. So now we must really just be worried, but also think that it looks like new government might come in of coalition. I salute people from KZN. I wish people from Eastern Cape can learn something here. That's how KZN is. It's painted the MK. And if you look at this chart, everyone seems to be from the ANC. They have all these other provinces except Gauteng, which is led by the DA, and Western Cape led by the DA, and KZN by MK Party. It would have been good to see another province maybe being taken by the EFF, but it gives the question of what is going on with how the people have decided not to vote the EFF in numbers. Of course, it's very early to say, but that picture doesn't say good things about how the EFF has been performing. As you can see, probably the people are also going after them. Results of open borders. Good morning, fighters.
The willingness is done. We will accept the willingness of the voice of the people of South Africa, whatever the outcome. We will not have any query because we campaigned and no one stopped us. We spoke to our people, no one stopped us. So if the people did not receive the message, it means we still need more time to work on convincing our people with regard to voting for the EFF. It's done. We will.
Okay, someone says, let me just check. Someone says, I think they wanted to see another province which we can try and pull up. Can I see Gauteng results? Where are we now? We are national. These are Gauteng results. What am I? Oh, these are the regions. Let's see. Wait. Gauteng region. Okay. 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 We'll see this afterwards. Let's see the Gauteng. This is what's happening in Gauteng, my man. The provincial of the province of Gauteng. This is what you have: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last number is in terms of the top 5, Freedom Front Plus, and then number 4, MK. Number 3, the EFF. Number 2, the ANC. And I think you probably know we're not expecting the DA to be number 1. Looking at how people were calling them out for their adverts of banning the flag, but hey, the DA is getting the results. People are voting out the ANC. They want to see the DA. And now they broke that 5% mark. So it does seem like votings are coming in. They broke the 5% mark and the DA is still leading. So that is the DA. A lot of people have not voted. If you look at this map, a lot of people have not voted. I mean, it shows that there are regions where they have completed, but a lot of people have not been counted. Sorry, not voted. They've not been counted. And if you look at these regions, EFF is just a dot out of this, but mainly it's ANC and the DA, MK and EFF, DA. No Mandela, Zuma, Tambo. So what is the need to vote for Palapala? People love Palapala. I told you that people still believe that Ramaphosa is the answer for South Africa. And Deco says, what about Cope? Cope in Gauteng. Cope has 72 votes in Gauteng. We've just 5% completed. And then they had 7% previously. No, Cope is dead. Cope is dead and buried. Cope has just 0.09%, while other parties are having 20-something thousand. Cope has 7%. What is the other party that you'd like to see? We can show more. Let's see. I'm sure people would like to know what's going on with the KZN, but KZN is a province of Zuma. There's no negotiation about it. Even the ANC knows that they are not contesting that. And it's funny because people like Duma were speaking as they wish. And even the king even came out and spoke about the fact that they are going to approach the international courts regarding that matter of that trust. And then he spoke about the fact that we are going to vote. He wanted to show them during votings. Now it is what's going on here. The MK leading. People of the KZN gave Jacob Zuma when he came as a president, but are rejecting Ramaphosa. This is how you can see that KZN loves Jacob Zuma. They went to 39.38 and then they went to 46.98. That's when they were growing. And then Mbeki went out and they said, Zuma is our man, 62. Zuma was still there, 64. And Ramaphosa says, we are Hamba Zuma. And then they said, no way, we are not voting. But it was not a lot of them. They still gave them 54. That is why people like Duma were speaking as they want. And finally, this year, MK came and they said, Zuma, you're going to be our premier candidate or whoever they are going to be putting. I'm interested in seeing, maybe they're going to put Zuma's daughter as the premier of the KZN. They're going to see flames there. The ANC is going to see flames if Dudu Zile becomes the premier. What about what? Where is Bosasa party? Yeah, Bosa party. I'm not sure if you're speaking about nationally, Joseph, or what, but in KZN, Bosa is just 97 votes, and someone is speaking about. Can we see ACT in Free State? ACT in Free State. Let's see Free State. Oh, you mean Mahashule? Uh, You'd be pleased to know that he's nowhere to be found. They have 21 completed, but just gave him 1,000 vote, 1%. Ace dreams of wanting to be in parliament seem to be fading. They are fading quickly. Who is voting for Ace? Because just few people, 1,000 of them, what did he do to them? Probably gave them T-shirts. Because just 1,000 out of 23% completed, it means the ANC should not even worry. That term of saying that it's cold outside the ANC, the only person who's feeling it right now is Ace Mahashule. Even the MK is getting numbers more than Ace in the Free State. And if you look at it, the Free State is where Ace should be having a lot of power. But Zuma came and got votes. What Ace should have done, he should have joined with the MK. Maybe they would have given him a seat in parliament, but he did not. Now he's just there at above PA. Let's see, back to the national, guys. Anyone who wants to see the national, that is what's going on. They have not updated them. When Action SA go to parliament, I don't know about that. They are on 9,501. So it seems like the only big forces are ANC, DA, EFF, MK, Patriotic Alliance, Freedom Front Plus, IFP. So far, Action SA is coming along nicely, but doesn't look like they're getting a lot of support. And even if you go down, Musi Maimane is way, way down. Musi Maimane is on 4,000 votes. I mean, it would be a shame not to see Musi Maimane going somewhere because he's been speaking a lot and people were hoping to see him uh, having a lot. I just want to check something. I'm not really sure what is the number of votes that takes you to parliament. I just want to search something. Um, I'm not quite sure. I just want to be sure about Musi Maimane. Uh, I want to know because can we see ACM in Free State? ACM? Who's ACM? Is it Saudi? Okay, you are doing a good job, my man. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you very much, my man. Northern Cape boss. Tebo, we are gonna go back to it because we keep going to them as they change. Nick says voters will surprise you. Indeed, voters will surprise you. I wanted to check how many votes takes one to parliament. It seems like it might take me a lot of minutes, but anyway, it's fine. Let's leave it. I wanted to see if Musi Maimane is going to go to parliament because we've just, where is Musi? We've just 4,000 votes. I don't think it's going to parliament. I do not think so, but we might. Let's check what happened in 2019. ANC got, wow, they got 10 million. The DA got 3. The EFF got 8 million. And people are good. The ATM, it seems like probably the cutoff should be AIC was in parliament. Cope was there. Okay. Seems like it's lower than that. Al Jama, It shouldn't take a lot to go to parliament, but I will check that and just be sure. Um, Somebody said, "What is what? Can we see ACM in Free State? Free State, Free State, Free State. Is it the Cloudy? Cloudy must fall. Cloudy has fallen. Nobody wants to vote for Cloudy. Um, Cloudy is on 364 in Free State. Cloudy has fallen. That is the title of the new movie. Cloudy has fallen. And not only Cloudy is taking his friend Makashule. Where is he? Makashule with 453. Musi won't go to parliament. He was supposed to join Action SA. Check KZN how it is going. I'll check it. Mm, okay. This is KZN. If you want to know about it, it's still the province led. Sorry, still the province led by MK Party. They do change each now and then, but for now, I think they haven't made some changes. Let us check if IEC has anything going or a press. Okay. One of the IEC official was very rude to people at the voting station. You must hear how he spoke to voters. Jerry the Terrible. Okay. Now, for now, they're just answering questions. There's nothing there going on. They haven't just tweeted anything. But hopefully, there will be an update. The last update was 8 hours ago. But yeah, that is MK for you. MK is still sitting nicely. Could you remove the banner so the screen reflects the parties at the bottom? I think you're asking a lot, my man. I can try and put it on the side. Let's see. It should work. Tell me if you're satisfied with that, because more than that, I don't think it's gonna work. And what about independent candidates? You're making sense. I haven't been able to check. Um I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure how those ones are checked. I haven't figured it out. Independent candidates, because clearly they should be showing, unless they haven't been voted yet. Because as far as the IEC website, it's not a lot of things. How is that guy JJ from Podcast and Chill doing in the Free State? Uh, I'm gonna have to find out how to check the independent candidates, because as of now, unless I haven't been checking something national and region. I think so far it's not showing in terms of the independent candidates. Hopefully, we'll be able to get that update on how we can check it. But yeah, so far all we are seeing is the and national and provincial. So this is how we have. Can we check Mpumalanga province? Mpumalanga province, Mpumalanga province. That's the home of the ANC there, but MK is showing them some flames there. They must never, never, never play games with the MK party. Those are they are a force, a formidable force, if you might say so, because 16% new kid on the block. We thought that the strongest province should be KZN alone, but they are showing a good work everywhere they go. They are showing some good work everywhere they go. And if you want to go down a bit with some of the provinces, as you go, the province of Mpumalanga, ANC still strong, and let's see. I'm hoping they are updating this Western Cape. Last time I saw they were, they're still on 20%. So it seems like we just have some minutes to go until they update it. It should be more than 13.99% nationally, so that we know the countings has just gone in. Is former Chief Justice Mogoeng still going to be MK president, or just a runner? Just a rumor? That one is difficult because it's just rumors. We haven't heard anything. I think if ever he's affiliated with the MK party, we might know after the election when Zuma is being told that Zuma, you're not going to parliament or doing anything. But again, it wouldn't be a surprise if we see Duduzile go into parliament also, because she's there in the MK party. They might just decide that they are giving Duduzile a chance. It's possible. But as for Mogoeng, I don't know. God is putting governments in place of Bible. How is EFF performing? Eagerly interested to see it doing well. Hey, the EFF is really not doing well nationally for now. For now, they are not. Well, when I say they are not doing well, I'm speaking about the fact that one could be expecting them to have a huge lead. But as we are waiting until there are changes, maybe the update will go from 13.99 to something else. But as of now, the ANC is at 42, DA a surprise 125, and the EFF is on 8.47. So Mr. Julius is probably waiting to cruise nicely into the union building. I've got this is when Julius Malema was thanking the voters. I think it was yesterday when the people were complaining about the time not suiting them because it was almost 9 p.m. and people were waiting to vote. Please listen.
Thank you very much, South Africa, for turning out in your numbers to cast your vote in these historic elections. We are happy that you showed up and you are so determined. We have noted the frustrations that you have been subjected to, and they want to demoralize you and frustrate you by not providing an efficient service. Do not get tired. The youth of South Africa, you came out in your numbers. This is your future. We are only going to do it just today, and we secure a future for the next 5 years. Don't go home. Stay on the queues. The IC is not allowed to turn anyone away who's at the queue. I know some of you waited for more than 7 hours. Some of you waited for more than 10 hours. But that's what happens. When a good thing is about to come out, it goes through a very painful process. Do not get discouraged, the youth of South Africa. Remain on the queues like me. I'm still at the stations making sure that no single voter is turned away, irrespective of which political party they vote for. We have to make this democracy work for us and work for the future. Stay in there, the ground forces of the EFF, the all forces of Mulungi's Madrontala Battalion. Make sure to galvanize the youth, to agitate, to razzmatazz, and ensure that the youth remains warm and well fed while they are waiting to cast their votes. I'm with you and will be with the last voter. We will never sleep until the last voter on the queue has voted. This is the time for land, for jobs, and to stop load shedding. You'll stop load shedding by standing on the queue tonight and ensure that your vote stop load shedding forever. Your vote brings jobs, your vote brings land. We say to South Africa, thank you, and thank you again for showing them that 2024 is our 1994. And we can only do that by not being discouraged on the queues. They're frustrating you to discourage you. The IEC has never failed to run elections. All of a sudden, they look like they don't know what they are doing, with a deliberate intention to discourage you, and so that all of you can leave the queue and go home.
Let me just, sorry guys, I just wanna, for now, mute this logo so you can probably see well unless things change.
Don't be scared. Don't be discouraged. Victory is certain. I thank you. Thank you very much, South Africa, for turning out in your numbers to cast your vote in these historic elections. We are happy that you showed up and you are so determined. We have noted the frustrations that you have been subjected to, and they want to demoralize you and frustrate you by not providing an efficient service. Do not get tired. The youth of South Africa, you came out in your numbers. This is your future. We are only going to do it just today, and we secure a future for the next 5 years. Don't go home. Stay on the queues. The IEC is not allowed to turn anyone away who's at the queue. I know some of you waited for more than 7 hours. Some of you waited for more than 10 hours. But that's what happens. When a good thing is about to come out, it goes through a very painful process. Do not get discouraged, the youth of South Africa. Remain on the queues like me. I'm still at the stations making sure that no single voter is turned away, irrespective of which political party they vote for. We have to make this democracy work for us and work for the future. Stay in there. The ground forces of the EFF, the all forces of Mulungi's Madrontala Battalion. Make sure to galvanize the youth, to agitate, to razzmatazz, and ensure that the youth remains warm and well fed while they are waiting to cast their votes. I'm with you and will be with the last voter. We will never sleep until the last voter on the queue has voted. This is the time for land, for jobs, and to stop load shedding. You'll stop load shedding by standing on the queue tonight and ensure that your vote stop load shedding forever. Your vote brings jobs, your vote brings land. We say to South Africa, thank you, and thank you again for showing them that 2024 is our 1994. And we can only do that by not being discouraged on the queues. They're frustrating you to discourage you. The IEC has never failed to run elections. All of a sudden, they look like they don't know what they are doing, with a deliberate intention to discourage you, and so that all of you can leave the queue and go home. Don't be scared. Don't be discouraged. Victory is certain. I thank you.
That is the leader of the Economic Freedom Party. Actually, there was a few interviews where Julius Malema was speaking, and it's a bit interesting. Okay, from here. Just want to zoom into that interview.
We are opposed to the ballot boxes slipping over in a place that has never been discussed, and we are not part of the process of securing those. I mean, we knew that the special votes will slip over, and the following day they will come sealed with signatures of party agents and everyone. Then we can continue to vote in the same boxes if they are not full. We have had incidences of where the slip over ballot boxes were tampered with. One of those ballot boxes where the IEC itself said, this one you can't even touch. It was opened underneath. The box itself was not only tempered on the seal tempered under the box tempered. So tampering is a possibility, especially if it has not been part of the plan. What does the plan include? It includes you in your plan as a media. You don't have the second staff from the voting station to now go and see where the ballot boxes will be staying, because that's not how you planned. Everyone must vote today. Everyone, doesn't matter what time we finish. Everyone who's inside here, who's at
Aubrey says ANC is now leading in Gauteng. I'd be very surprised if I see that. But let's just do. But would they be leading? Still 13.99. Let's see provinces. Maybe there are changes in provinces. Gauteng. Nope. Unless the IEC has not updated their system online, but did on TV, because as of now, we have ANC not leading, and the leader is still the DA. But I would think even if they are going to lead, it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be by a huge margin. As I see, so far, well, they will try, but I don't think there's any time they would be leading by a big margin. Anyway, the IEC has not yet um, updated their stats, but as you can see, even MK is still leading by 41 in KZN. The stats are still telling us that they're still trying to cook them. So hopefully soon we will know what is going on. And I can see let us hope we see some changes, because what we are seeing now, it's a National Assembly 16.0%. I don't know. Did this change? I just want to check. Okay, it does seem like there are changes here. It seems like we have changes in terms of the counting. So now the ANC is still leading national on 46. The ANC, no, not 46, on 42. The ANC is on 42% national, the DA 25, and the EFF still on 8%. 600,000 voters have voted for the ANC so far, coming from 400,000. Now they are going to 600,000. And you have nationally, you have MK Party. Wow. MK Party has just crossed the 100,000 mark. and going to 129,000. No, those are a lot of supports for the MK. And the EFF, very worrying, still competing with MK. Is it early to call it a rejection for the EFF by some voters? Or is it because the MK was formed? Because the EFF is still sitting at 8%. And at that point, there's also the MK party, who's just behind the EFF with 8%, 8.08%. And then another person who's doing well. Already the PA has some seats in parliament. They are on 71,000 and growing. So you are going to see Gauteng, you are going to see Kenny Kunene in parliament at this point. And there is also Freedom Front Plus, who is also there in parliament. He has 30. Freedom Front Plus with 31,000. The IFP, they are coming along, 29. Action SA, they are growing. At least let them grow until Herman Mashaba gets one seat or two in parliament. ACDP, Triple C, UDM is on 7. Oh, it's going to be difficult for people like UDM. There is ATM on 5,000. Al Jama Bossa. Bossa still 4,900. Bossa has yet to break that 5,000 mark. Wow, Musi Maiman is flopping. That's why he's not on social media. The whole of yesterday he was busy. Suddenly, Musi Maiman is sleeping. He can't watch the results. He's nowhere to be seen on social media. 4,900 at 16% complete. Oh, that's a very big disappointment. And even Raz Mzansi, these guys, they got a lot of money to push these political parties, but no one is voting for them. They have been rejected. Could have used those money for something else. PAC is a party that should have joined other parties. UAT, Hope for SA. Let's go down. AIC. Yeah, but Cloudy, not Cloudy. No, this is not the Cloudy. Sorry, this is the one that confused people. People confusing it with the ANC. They are even having a lot of vote more than that man there, Ace Makashule. So Ace Makashule has 2,000 votes so far, and NFP has 1,000. Cope is still on 1.5. Cope is not coming back to parliament. ACC, I'm not quite sure who's the leader of this party, but they are on 1,104. ACM, Saudi still has 562, and the majority of the votes are coming from the province of the Free State. So nationally, no one wants to know about Saudi. ABC, Sun, Sarko, RP, ACP, AL, Sarah. Sarah is still on 350. Oh, these people wasted money in terms of campaigning for elections. Even Shiluva, the guy is down at the bottom of the list, 264. Okay, now, as we have seen, we need to go to provinces since, well, the national board has changed. These are the provinces. Let us start with the province of Eastern Cape. The ANC still leading. The ANC still up in the province of the Eastern Cape. They are on 63%, followed by the DA. DA is followed by the EFF. Seems like the EFF are coming along nicely with 10,000 votes. The counting is it's a bit slow. I'm not sure. Can you guys hear clearly? The counting is a bit slow at the moment. Let's go to Free State. If I remember well, there was not a lot of changes. That is where Claudi got 300. Claudi got 300 in the Free State. and the rest of the 200 is coming from other provinces, probably Gauteng. So in the Free State, the ANC still having 52, with the DA at 21. People still love the DA. And there is a 11% for the EFF, thereby the Free State with 9,000. MK is still there. They're just behind VF Plus. So MK is on 2,202. ACT, it's 1,147. I'm sure Makashule regrets going out of the ANC as much as he was forced. I'm sure he regrets when he wrote that letter to call for the resignation of Ramaphosa, when he wanted to boot out Ramaphosa and then they rejected it. I'm sure he regrets because no one is acknowledging him, even in the provinces, in the province that he comes from, the Free State. They are giving him 1,147. It could probably be the votes from overseas, those students who are voting because of the bursaries. Man, you have Patriotic Alliance, 528, I would say is a try. And then you have ATM, 479, Action SA. What happened to Action SA though? Eman Mashaba. Oh, he might as well just go back to producing hair products. This is the biggest province, Gauteng, just closer to KZN. And as you have it, probably the changes have not been made because of now. The ANC apparently should be leading Gauteng. So, but at the moment, it's not leading Gauteng. The DA is still leading, but they are neck to neck, meaning anything could happen. Anything can happen anytime soon. They are 33 to 32. 1% is separating both of them. And EFF running at 10%. Gauteng really has not given the EFF the voters that probably the EFF expected. At this point, as much as you have only done 5% and giving EFF only 8,000 while the others have received more than that, I just want to show this because I see that this has not been updated, the Gauteng one, on the system, but let me check. Okay. Here's a latest chart. As it has not changed. At 10:54, it said that the ANC was on 35.9, and no, I don't think this would be Gauteng. It could not be. There's no way that the ANC would change dramatically like that. From 33 to 35 and DA being 27. If that's the case, then it's the DA should be worried if the ANC is going up like that. Even the voters of the EFF giving it a steady increase, but 11%. So we were on 10%. So it could be that is the case. So if that's the case, it means ANC is going up and the DA is going down. 40 looks like an impossible mission, but I thought the DA would keep going up because if they go down, those ANC guys are still going to celebrate. Okay, let's see. We're still on Gauteng, and KZN, I believe, is still the province where the leader is the MK party. MK is still leading that province, leading by voting district. They're still on 41. So it has not changed unless if you check all on trending topics, it probably changed. But who's voting for DA in Limpopo? You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people voting for DA. And the surprising one is the fact that people have been rejecting or just giving less votes to the EFF and more votes to the DA. Because as of now, it's a bit worrying. So I think the people who can see the quick changes, it would be because it's strictly straight from the IEC board. As now we can see that not even categorized as a top to bottom. But as of now, uh, it's looking very interesting for these parties because it looks like it keeps changing and ANC is still there, but they are not leading by a huge margin. Still 16.65. I keep forgetting. I'm not sure what was the percentage of complete last time, but ANC still on 42 with the DA 25 and EFF 8. Let's say they wanted to take out the ANC and ANC is 142. You take 8 and 25, you still need a lot of votes, and there's another 8, and then you're going to need the PA, and then now you're going to combine everyone just to take out the ANC. And then you would need to set up cabinet. With some of these guys who don't even deserve to be in parliament, it's going to be very difficult. That's why ANC can easily say that with the 42 I have, I'm taking the DA. Next thing you have John Steenhuisen as the deputy president, and probably Zille is going to come back in the picture. But if they go and get the EFF, you know that Ramaphosa is going to sweat every day. That is why they're going to reject him, because they will keep telling Ramaphosa to change this, do that, pala pala, go and don't go. Ramaphosa is not going to need the stress of the EFF. He knows very well that as much as we have the same policies with the EFF, but if we have the EFF as a coalition partner, it's not going to be easy for us. You still want rent, commission of inquiry. And then if they go and work with the MK party, we know Ramaphosa and Zuma cannot work together. Zuma didn't leave the ANC to come back and work with them. He left the ANC so that he can destroy them. So the only possibility is that Ramaphosa tries to work with John Steenhuisen, unless other parties are going to increase, like you have 4% from PA, 2% from VF, 1% from IFP, and get others. Maybe that's where you're going to get the votes. But otherwise, it's going to be very interesting to see how things would be going. I'm sure as we wait for, okay, I'm going to remember this next time I come back to the results. 16.65%. Let's see the hashtag, the IEC, election day, the Eastern Cape. You can do just a simple check and say that the EFF in Limpopo says the Zulu people will always be respected and remain a powerful force in society because they unite and fight back. They removed ANC in KZN, Pennies in Limpopo and Xhosa in Eastern Cape will remain poor and weak. There's some truth in it because Limpopo and Eastern Cape keep voting the ANC. And Zuma has just changed the narrative. He took out the ANC and he's leading that province of KZN. Good result for the EFF in Mpumalanga, also doing great in Pretoria and Limpopo. Not really. They are not. Oh, that person tweeted before results were counted. That's the thing. You know the thing about media and speaking about who voted, who didn't vote. Once the results come, you'll have a different picture of what's going on. That's when you're going to realize that sometimes we vote by tweeting instead of going there and voting for the people we want. Someone says, with KZN and Gauteng being the most contested provinces in the country, the EFF is making a noticeable effect in the traditionally impenetrable KZN. The MK, the party is relatively doing well in Gauteng. In Limpopo, the party is expected to slightly improve and defend its position. The only reason EFF is doing well in Limpopo is because they've seen and experienced the things Malema was doing in the province when he was still ANC Youth League. It doesn't make sense. The EFF is not doing well in Limpopo. For me, doing well would be to be the second party. For me, doing well would be to go over the DA and push the ANC slightly below 60%. I would call that doing well. But as long as we have 13% and 12%, that is not doing well. Because we cannot keep speaking about the fact that one day the ANC is going to be removed. People have been speaking like that for 15 years. Every year we say this year the ANC will be removed. Every year the ANC will be removed. Next thing we are old, we even die speaking about the ANC will be removed. If they should be changed and if we should applaud the political parties for doing great at the elections, we should applaud them while looking at the fact that ANC is on its knees. As long as they are not on their knees, we cannot really say it's a victory. We are getting old and it's a problem. Aubrey says the DA is on 50% in Western Cape. I would think unless there are other changes there, because what I have noticed is that the IEC takes long to update their counting, probably because there's a lot of people going on the website. See, we are still on 16.65%, waiting to see if they are going to change anytime soon. 16.65%. That's what we have as of now. Ramaphosa is preparing his speech at the moment because he's going to be speaking. He might come back as another a president for the second term, 2019 and 2024. So he's probably preparing himself. He's already at Union Building, so there's no need for him to prepare and go back to Union Building. He's already there. And unfortunately for the oppositions, let's just hope that as much as we are still early in the votings, they are going to try and do well. It was a Julius Malema voting. Yes, guys. 16.65%. IEC has been lazy. They need to speed up. Everyone has voted. They should be updating us so that we can know what is going on. Bossa, what a shame. There is Musi Maimani. The walk of shame is taking place now because it's not going well for Musi. Elections are very dangerous. We can work so hard, and in the end, things go south, like what's happening now. That is the IEC center. Even the government is there to see what is going on, because they know that Matamela is coming back as the president. The return of Matamela. The ANC has lost its majority. I've been seeing Pumzile van Damme, and which reminds me, shouldn't Steenhuisen be going to Harvard also if he loses? Because most of the people who go to Harvard are the losers. So if Steenhuisen loses, he should go to Harvard also. Should go and join Harvard, but the problem is that he's not going to be accepted. He doesn't meet the requirement. Election still sitting, national still sitting in 16.65. Surely it should be changing. What time is it? Surely after 12 it should change. Surely we should be able to know what's going on after 12. As we can see, it's a long road, but surely there should be a lot of change. Musi Maimane has something to say. He knows it's too soon, and already he's thanking the people of South Africa. Of course, he knows that elections. He is realizing that elections are not pop and place, and he says, "Thank you to all South Africans who voted for Build One SA. This election is a historic one." Musi shouldn't be speaking about historic elections because he is doing very bad nationally. He is doing very bad at five. Oh, okay. No, we have a breakthrough, guys, and I don't know, but my internet seems to be acting up now. I think every time we go beyond the 2 hour mark, we seem to be getting a problem, but hopefully it picks up. But the results are in. The ANC has just went up with votes 770,000, and they are on 42.95, while the DA is on 25.24%. The EFF is still on 8.60% with 154. MK is still behind the EFF with 145,000, 8%. And there is a 78,000 votes. Patriotic Alliance, 4%. And the VF has a 34,000 with 1.9. The IFP going behind Freedom Front Plus with 34.45, and the Action SA is on 0.76 with 13,000. ACDP 11,000, 0.62. There is UDM 9,000 still trying to come up, and Triple C good ATM And Bossa, let's see Bossa, how he did. He's still on 5,000. And now we go to provincial. Are you guys able to hear or see the screen? Because my network is doing poorly. It's doing very poor. Even if I try to change something, it's doing very terrible. Let's hope it's going to regain power. It's currently doing very terrible, and it's not good for us as the elections are coming in. Let us just wait for a second, guys, while you feed your eyes on the national results. I'll just try and reboot the network. So yes, 17.54% voting done. They keep increasing, but sure, hopefully the provincial is also updated. Let's see. In the province, we starting with Eastern Cape. They're still on 61. I think they were on 50 something before, but they are on 61. The DA on 18%, followed by the EFF with 9% in the Eastern Cape, joined by Patriotic Alliance at 7,267, having 2.69. And then there is UDM. Pantu Olumisa is not loved there by the province. He has 2.54 percentage. And then Umkondo Wesizwe has 2,573, 0.95, followed by ATM. Are you going to come back, Zungula? It seems like you are not getting the love. Herman Mashaba again is sitting on 1,610 in that province. A very, very, very disappointing picture for Herman. And when you go to the Free State, 52% for the ANC, 21 the DA, and 11% for the EFF. Maxwell, I'm very worried about EFF. Here in Zambia, many wanted it to win. Unfortunately, my man, the people are not thinking the same. When you go to Gauteng, the network being terrible is unfortunate for us because it's still a long way to go. But hopefully it regains power as I'm trying to just reboot it and not mess with anything. As we go to Gauteng with 5%, I don't think Gauteng has been updated. It seems like they're just still sitting on that same um, thing. How is the network for you guys? Because I feel like if the network is still bad, the best thing would be to end the live stream and probably try and fix uh, uh, and then go in and fix the network, because mostly if it's been long hours live streaming, it turns out to have a problem. I'm not sure why that, but I would need to maybe cool down the computer and come back again. Okay. The connection says excellent. Um, I would be waiting for you guys to tell me if you can now hear me clearly, because my network says excellent now after such a long time. If it's going well for you, you can just comment, guys, so that we can continue with the live stream, because National has updated. Provinces, they have not yet updated, guys. If you can hear me, let me know so that I can know that the system is perfect on your side. As I check, it says excellent connection. Um, it's not the network, it's the IEC. Okay. On my side, it says excellent network. Okay. It means we can go on. I'll let you know, because I have a screen where I can see that things are not going well. Sometimes it says slow network, but it's fine. We'll continue. We will continue, guys. I don't know why they are not updating the local, I mean the provincial yet, but this is the picture of the national. Uh, the ANC is almost at the point of 1 million votes. And you know, once you hit the 1 million votes, you are assured that you are going nicely. Last elections, the ANC got 10 million voters. They would be expecting to get that, but I don't think the ANC will get 10 million voters this time. The people might be declining. The people may be declining the ANC, and I don't see them getting 10 million votes this time. The DA, they did well, 3.6, and if they go to 4 million, it would be a good thing. And as how things look now, one would really expect the EFF to go over 2 million votes and probably get something like 2.5 million votes. And if they get that, at least they would have done something, because looking at how things go, it's a worrying picture. Musi says, thank you all South Africans who voted for Build One South Africa. This election is a historic one. And history will never forget to mention that Musi came with full force and lost. So here we go. ANC on 770. And it should go up probably to okay. You guys can hear me. Okay, that's good. I'm glad to hear that you can hear me. Okay. Now we are on 770 of the ANC. DA for 400,000. They're almost at 500,000 in the EFF. And I'm not gonna lie. I've noticed that there is a lot of support on the ground for the EFF to do well. But why are the results showing what we are seeing now? Of course, 17 is nothing. We can only speak when we are around 50%. But the ANC is not playing games. The ANC is in a rush to win this. And there is the EFF and competing with the MK party. Zuma, as old as he is still a powerful man. The ANC knows that for sure, that Zuma is a very old man. He refused to stay in Kandla but decided to come back and cause havoc for the ANC. Definitely, if MK party gets 1 million votes, ANC is in trouble. And if the EFF is going to get 2.5 million, surely MK party is going to get 1 million votes. And once MK gets 1 million votes, trouble is looming for the ANC. And Patriotic Alliance, I mean, this party is doing so well. It's doing so well, headed by Gauteng. Who's funding it? A lot of funding is coming from Gauteng. And Kenukunen, I'm sure is broke by now. I did when I saw that voter party funding, I didn't see much of Kenukunen. But there is PA and Freedom Front Plus. I want to see if Freedom Front Plus is going to do better than last election of 2019, because it seems like the DA is back to working hard and doing magic. So it might cost a lot of vote to Freedom Front Plus, but it's still early stages. IFP, do it for Buthelezi. I keep saying this because they shocked me this time by just encouraging people to do it for the man who has just rested. Action SA again. It's national elections. Action SA has 13,000. Are you telling me that all these black like me buyers are not really giving Action SA a chance? This is shocking. His story. Did you say it was good the DA could get 4 million? It's good not because the DA is going to be in government. It is good because if the DA gets around the mark of 4 million, it reduces the ANC. And as long as the ANC doesn't get over 50%, it's a win. Because if the ANC gets over 50, it's over. There's no complaining. But anyway, Action SA sitting on 13,000. I mean, where are the voters? At one point, people used to say in 2021, the new political party to make changes, Action SA. But it's a shame to see what's happening. At least they are above ACDP, who has been there since 1994. At least that's an achievement for them. UDM, 9,000. You know, if we really could decide, all these old parties who are not giving us anything should just go. Even good. Patricia Delile, they gave her a position there in the Ramaphosa cabinet. Maybe this time she just needs to go, because who's voting for good? ATM. ATM, I want to see this guy back in parliament. The ATM guy is good. And then Al Jama, Bosa. Also said for Musi Maiman. It said how many white people said that this is the guy to go to, and many black people said Musi Maiman is a good leader. But the votings and the results are not showing what people have been speaking about in terms of Musi Maiman. This is not the man that they told us about, that he's going to change the game. He's not changing anything. What is going on, Musi? How is Musi getting 5,000 together with Rise Mzansi? There are no difference from PAC. Even Hope for SA is the same as the way Rise Mzansi's impact with Musi Maimane is. The same thing. And you go down, you realize that as we go down, we come across problems. Ace Makashule on 2,278. I'm sure even an independent candidate can do that. And then COPE is much more worse than what ACT is doing. And APC, and there's Kaudi. Kaudi there sitting nicely at 611 votes. 611 votes is just 20 families voting for one person. Other than that, it's such a shame that people like Claudi keep entering politics knowing very well that nothing will work for them. ABC 587. We're just going to go to the provincials. I hope they have updated them because I kept checking. They are very slow to update. I kept checking, they're very slow, and hopefully they did change, unless the changes are not that big. 2024 is our 1994. This man just killed KZN for the ANC. The utterances of the ANC KZN made it worse for many people because now the ANC is suffering in that province because of these guys. They are killing what the ANC could have coined a good campaign. Well, there is Zuma. Kunyuka Wamped, the man refuses to die. His story says that to believe EFF isn't showing up in the numbers. They're still gonna show, but not as much as we would expect. Aubrey says Musi submitted 146 signatures to the IEC for him to be rejected. So if those were real signatures, he should go to parliament. Yeah, no, it makes sense. If Musi doesn't get over 100,000, then we should ask ourselves, how did they get those signatures? Not him alone, a lot of them. It's like they were paying people to sign. Because how do you get signatures where we think if these people have signed for you, they believe in you, and next thing you don't even meet the number of signatures you received? It's easy to buy a voter because most people are longing for something to keep them going. That is where the politicians come, because we are being promised heaven and earth. And Musi said a job in each and every household. But no one believes in what Musi says. If people believed that Musi can bring a job in each and every household, then they could have voted for him. So it seems like those people think Musi Maimane is taking them for a ride. They don't believe what Musi Maimane says about jobs. Because how are we going to get... Oh, no, now it keeps updating. That's very good. As it updates, the ANC is still on 40%, 42%. That's where we want them. That is where we want to see the ANC. It's sitting there comfortably, waiting to go to Union Building, 18% done. ANC 42.92. They are almost reaching that 43. The DA 25.12%, with the EFF still sitting at 8.67. Let's see how many votes they got. The EFF is going up. They are now on 163,000. The ANC is on 107, and the DA is 472. I want us to check the provinces. They are probably updated. Firstly, the Eastern Cape. The ANC is on 60.70. And I'm not sure, but last time I checked, it was probably on 61, which shows a decline. Now we have 132, 15.8% done. The DA is on 41,000, 19%, and 9.1% for the EFF with 19,000. UDM still, this time they're on 5,000, still hoping to go to 10. Patriotic Alliance 6.9. MK still on the 2,158. Let's check another province. the Free State. The Free State is on 52, the ANC 38,000 number of voters, 20%, still 80% to go. So we will still see some changes. So it's ANC, the DA, and EFF. EFF and DA putting pressure, having those 32,000 percent, and the EFF, the ANC still on 52. Let's see how the MK is doing. They are on 2,000, just 2%. Even if you ask the MK Zuma to work with Makashule, you'd be surprised because Makashule is still on 0.62, having 453, and PA 492. Action SA, at least Action SA is getting some votes there by the Free State. At least people still think he has some actions. And then the province of Gauteng. Aubrey, you were right, my man. The ANC is leading Gauteng. It means the IEC takes time to update. The ANC is leading. Wow. So they went from 33, quickly going to 32. No, quickly going to 27. While ANC was on 32, they are now on 35. Oh, ANC is giving them problems. But still, it doesn't matter. As long as they keep ANC below 50%. But what we are seeing here is a picture of ANC climbing with 8% counted. They have 63,000 votes. The DAS 49, almost 50. The EFF on 11% with 20. Fighters again. Let's hope you voted in numbers. Let's hope a miracle will happen and there are some parts that did not get counted yet. But the experience with elections is that we could really say that the ANC is leading because they've counted their stronghold. And as time goes, they are going to decline. But the experience tells us that they never decline. Even if it's a decline, it's not a huge decline, meaning that there's no way that you're going to see EFF going from 11% in Gauteng. And next thing, as they go up to 80%, is going at 27% or even 25%. It's not going to happen. History tells us that from here, the EFF is going to jump probably to 15 or 16% when they will be voting, when they will be around 70% completion. So it's not going to jump to 25. And ANC and DA, they're just going to fight each other there. But it's very disappointing to see how the people of Gauteng spoke about removing ANC, and next thing, you see it going up. It means we might just look, and next thing they are going to 40%. Anyway, MK Party in Gauteng is still on 16,000 votes, almost 17,000, 9.5%. So the EFF jumped and went to 11, while MK is still struggling on that 9.5%. Freedom Front Plus is going at 5,913. Sorry for being Zuma. And then you have Action SA, 5,599. Still, people are not voting Action SA. People are not voting for Bossa. Bossa is even worse. Bossa is even worse because at 1,258, oh, that's a very big disappointment for Bossa. Bossa, he must just call it quits and say that we failed. There's no way. You are even beaten by Al Jama, who many people don't even know them, but Bossa is known. Musi Maimane is celebrated. He's being called this mad leader, but yet you are pulling 1,000. Anyway, IFP is on 1060 and Hope for SA 479. As you go out, you find ATM on 380. And there's Sarah, 176 votes. Wow. Anyway, that is oh, I forgot about someone. Okay, now the independent candidates are showing. I think they are showing in provinces. Someone was asking, can you please update on Good Party? Nobelungu, where do you want it, nationally or provincially? You let me know. But someone was asking, um, please tell us about the independent candidates. They are being shown under provinces and not under national. So if you want to know, let us just check the independent ones. Anelem Dai is sitting at 122 votes, independent candidate. And Lindbergh, that guy who they are telling us that he has been dealing with gold, who was speaking some nonsense about Ramaphosa and the king, only 68. Might be former employees. He has only 68, and who's another person? Blessings Ramova, 55. You see, with independent, um, you can work as hard as you can, but people are not going to risk their votes for an individual, as we can see. I mean, 50, 55. Hopefully, when time goes, it could go up. Those are the people that we saw. Malema didn't imagine losing to Zuma. To Zuma. Yeah, he really didn't imagine that because I think, sorry, provincial. I think he thought they are going to whoop the floor with uh, all the other parties. Okay, let's see. KZN is still a country and is still a province under the Mkondo Wesizwe. They are leading by 41%, while the ANC is sitting at 21, and we have IFP still sitting at 17%. EFF number 5, just below the DA. The EFF sitting at 2.28%. DA is still sitting at 13%. Wow. So basically in KZN, they only recognize Zuma. As you can see, Action SA is sitting at 400. And it doesn't show the independent guys here. And then there's Mpumalanga. In Mpumalanga, ANC still on 53%. MK Party sitting at 16%, with EFF still on 13. And then let's see what other provinces. A province like Limpopo. Um, the ANC is still leading by 67%, while we have the DA on 11 and EFF, or they're jumping now, EFF on 11. So it's basically a war of who's going to be second. But the ANC is looking down at them, enjoying that huge margin they received from the people of Limpopo. It seems like it's showing, let me see, 7% Limpopo. Um, okay. Back to national, guys. Back to the national one. This is the picture. National. 18% completed, with ANC running at 800,000. The next update will show that the ANC is sitting on 1 million, while the DA would probably sitting over 500,000, and the EFF will be going over 200,000, and MK would probably be going around 180,000. As they continue going, people like PA would probably reach the 100,000 mark, which is a good thing for them. Action SA would probably break the 16,000 mark. They are still struggling a lot. Bossa, an achievement for Bossa. He just made the 6,000 mark. So it is worth being celebrated. Franklin, it seems Zuma was still powerful than we expected. No, really, it is not like we didn't know. Zuma in KZN and in the ANC is very loved. And it is not a surprise when you see KZN defeating ANC and the IFP and getting a majority. Let me just go back to it. It's not a surprise seeing KZN getting such majority, the MK party getting such majority. It's because of Zuma, his influence. People love Jacob Zuma so much. And I would want to see what his reaction would be, because they're going to win the province of KZN. But one hopes they go above 45, because the only person who can work with them, who wouldn't compromise any relationship, is the EFF. But sitting at 2%, it does not raw stage show us all the provinces. Okay, I will do that. Then I was just saying the only thing is that the EFF, sitting where they are sitting, they would need to go up in order to do a proper coalition with the MK, because if not, it might be MK and IFP, because ANC doesn't want to see ANC. MK would work with IFP and would not work with the ANC, because hey, Zuma and Ramaphosa, there's no love there. Okay, you wanted me to show you. I'll start from the bottom. The Western Cape, DA is losing that comfortable majority in the Western Cape. The DA now are sitting at 49.17. At one point, they were around 50%. What we are seeing now is that they are now losing it. And the ANC is growing. They are on 20%, with the PA running at 12%. The EFF is doing better in Western Cape than they are doing in the KZN region. And we have 23% counted. While you look at the PA, they are on 35,000 with 12%. This is a very, very good. It's very good for the PA. Gauteng is loved there. Gauteng has a lot of support there. 12% is nip up and face, especially when you are just a new party. EFF 4%, almost 12,000, and Triple C at 3%. Al Jama 1.63. What's happening to Freedom Front Plus now? It's shocking, because they are not getting those many votes. And you have Good. Good is getting rejected there by the Western Cape. Even ACDP, MK still trying to break the 2,000 mark. They are on 1,475. And then the independent candidates, Alchmat Zaki, 1,307. Oh, he had some votes there in Cape Town. Okay, let's check another province, Western Cape, and then you have Northwest. ANC sitting comfortably, looking down at them on 61%. Oh, they still love the ANC there. And good for the EFF. They're in opposition In the Northwest, they are number 2. So it's good for the EFF to see them going there. And I think it's only in, if I'm not mistaken, for now, I've only seen them coming as a second party, only in the Northwest. And the DA coming on third as 10%, 10.73. Then from there, it's a Freedom Front Plus. MK still there, growing bit by bit, 707. And Action SA still, that's a very huge letdown for Action SA. And Bosa is just running at 161. Another thing, Musi is not doing good at all. Let us check. You guys will tell me what other province you just want to check, but I'll check them one by one. Limpopo again. Wow, Limpopo is still sitting nicely, 67%. And the DA and the EFF, I think, much like the Northwest, the EFF will need to try and defeat the DA there by Northwest and get a second position to the ANC. But there is no competition in Limpopo. There is no competition. Everyone in Limpopo is looking at their master, the ANC. The people of Limpopo love the ANC. They voted for them. They are no different from the people of Eastern Cape. And it seems like maybe Ramaphosa is doing well. The ANC is doing its job there. And let's see. Papa Penny is working well there the MK party, influencing the votes of Mkondo Wesizwe, because he's the member now. And Action SA still in Limpopo, suffering 317. As much as it's 7%, it's a suffer. And Rise Mzansi 232. Bosa 174. I mean, Musi my money. One has to feel sorry for Musi. Musi probably thought elections are easy. He thought that you just enter elections and by popular demand, you get votes. But it shows that people can really like you and speak well about you, but still not want to vote for you. EFF might be the biggest losers in the end, especially if ANC keeps majority. The bond says. And let's see, voter turnout 2%. Okay. As I was on Limpopo, I checked places like, okay, here is one independent candidate, Ndo Love More Ray. He had 48. And Blessings S34. He is in Gauteng and he's also in Limpopo. I think he says he's something like chairperson of mining charter, something like that. And Patela Dakadzeni Faith, 14. I would say you tried. 14 votes is not bad. That's the whole relatives. And from Limpopo, let's go to Northern Cape. Northern Cape, you have the ANC still leading, but with 47%. As long as they don't go, and the good thing is that they're almost at 60% complete. So as long as you don't go over 50%, you are a loser, ANC. They can only be afraid of you if you are above 50%. But as long as you are not, it will be a problem. Ramaphosa until the best leader. Abel says Ramaphosa is the best leader. So as long as you are not above 50, you are still a loser, ANC. And interestingly enough, in the Northern Cape, the DA is second, but there's a party called the PA. They're doing well in Western Cape. They're also doing well in the Northern Cape. And the ANC the EFF is fighting with the Patriotic Alliance, sitting on 16,009%. I just want to check if the IEC has probably issued a notice on their latest media briefing. Just a second, guys. They informed of the latest updates. Okay. So we are sitting at in Northern Cape, having action. People like Action SA are still doing bad, and let's see. You guys will let me know who you want to see, but we'll just focus at the top ones for now. And Northern Cape to Mpumalanga, which is 53% for the ANC. There's still a possibility of them losing that 50% majority. And you also see that the MK has got a lot of votes more than the EFF in Mpumalanga. But what is the percentage? It's 17%. Still a long way to go. The EFF could easily overtake the MK because this one is for the taking. The second spot is for the taking between DA, EFF, and MK party. 17%, a lot could still happen. So expect changes in terms of this standing for Mpumalanga. But comfortably as they are, ANC, they should be worried. The KZN now. The province of Nkandla, President Jacob Zuma, showing the ANC flames and sitting at 41.77%, with the ANC doing poorly, having 21.06%, and IFP at 17%, the DA sitting at 13%, and shockingly, the EFF is at 2.28%, 7.22% calculation complete. The EFF is still on 2.28, a very worrying picture for the EFF. And Marshall Dlamini is the premier candidate in KZN, which means he's never going to be the premier with that 2%. And it's shocking. But let us hope that maybe when things change, the ANC will lose votes, because if they don't lose, for some of these people, those things that were said are just dreams. And let's see, NFP also losing votes there by 1.15%, ACDP 0.41, Action SA again, only 400 votes. Still a worry for them. Patriotic Alliance, KZN, is not the stronghold. They have 315 with a 0.23%. Al Jama, Apemo, AM4C, ATM, 200 votes, and Bossa, 185. They don't know you at in KZN, Mr. My money. I'm actually Danbon. I'm actually happy for ANC. EFF broke my heart into pieces after 9 loyal years. Okay. Peter says, I wish I could just have one province to administer, just to demonstrate to South Africans what their government has to offer. I'm sure you're speaking about the EFF there, Mutivi, but EFF is going to win. What are they going to win? The national or a province? And then Peter says, I wish the EFF could have just could just have one province to. Oh, okay, no, I get you. But when Mutivi says, but EFF is going to win, I would like to know what you're referring to because, hey, Ziakana, it's problematic there by the results. People were not voting. One of the issues that people have is that they talk too much. When it's time to vote, they don't go and vote for the parties. And when we don't see results, we wonder. I mean, I don't like people who praise or even sign in on polls saying that we are voting for this party. Next thing, they are not even registered to vote. So it was just people talking, and when you go to the official results, they are not there. And that is why the ANC keeps winning. The ANC knows that their people will always vote for them. Anyway, that is KZN. Let us go to, before we even go to national, let us go to Gauteng again, 35.90 for the ANC, 8.54% of the votes counted. Uh, this one, it's very competitive, this one of Gauteng, because a lot is going to happen here. People are going to be disappointed. Hearts are going to be broken in Gauteng. ANC 35.90. And you have the DA still sitting on 27.78. And there is EFF at 11.52 with 20,000 votes. MK also sitting nicely, 9.5%, 16,907. That's what the MK is doing, showing people how to do this thing. Because they came in, the influence of Jacob Zuma is much more greater than Songezo Zivi, Musi Maimane, Velenkosi Tlabisa, and Vuyo Zungula, Bantu Olomisa, all these guys combined. I'm trying to see if, wow. Okay, there's Bossa. I had forgotten about him. Yeah, but look at how these people really are showing in Gauteng. I thought Gauteng is that province where we are going to say young people are overtaking. They are running Gauteng, but the results say that young people decided ANC is the way to go. But I'm sure when time goes, a lot of results are going to change. And still leading in the Free State, the ANC is standing at 52.66, 21 for the DA and 11 for the EFF, joined by Freedom Front Plus on 5%, together with the MK Party, 2.83%, 2,000 votes. Another province that we can look at, it's the Eastern Cape, where sitting comfortably, 60% for the ANC, joined by the DA and the EFF. Dalinjewo told the people of Eastern Cape to vote for the EFF. Hopefully, as time goes, as they are on 15%, we will see the results. Let's go back to national, guys. This is the national picture, 18.71%. That is how it's sitting nationally, with ANC still leading with that 800,000. We're almost going to 1 p.m. I think it's going to change very soon to tell us that the ANC is now sitting comfortably at 1 million votes. Ramaphosa is sitting comfortably at 1 million vote, knowing very well that it is for the taking. He knows that I've got this. I've got this. Someone says, Jimmy Manye and Busisi Mkwawane are sitting in the EFF and they are wondering why MK is catching up. I don't think he's going to be happy hearing you calling him Jimmy because he doesn't like that name. But of course, I forgot about that. A lot of people were introduced, even Carl Nihas. Um, Carl Nihas, those people should have made contribution. Again, my network is starting to act up. Hopefully, it gained some power. Uh, update that. Update us on PA, please. Is it national or what? But if we want to check national, we are on national. This is the picture that we have in terms of the national. National PA is sitting uh, as 1, 2, 3, 4 as the fifth. They are sitting at number 5. The Patriotic Alliance. This is where they are. I'm just gonna take some few seconds. I'll be back because as the network is rebooting. Just bear with me because we've been on the live stream for 3 hours now. So these things are going to happen. I'll just be with you guys. Please don't go away. Hey there, guys. Now the network seems perfect. Gosinati, false results. My man, who had you so early in the morning? Not even the morning, the afternoon. Who had you? Did you even vote? If you voted, I feel sorry for you, my man. Take a chill pill. There's nothing wrong here. The IEC has just updated us on what's going on, and I would be interested in knowing who you voted for, because if you voted for someone and is not here, people are going to start crying. We are likely to be told that there was a lot of rigging in the elections because mostly when people start seeing results that don't go their way, they will accuse Ramaphosa of rigging. And unfortunately, you'll have to take it. Unfortunately, we will have to accept the results, because there's no way that we can say that we don't accept them. Everyone has to accept the results. That thing of wanting to say that they are rigging, it won't work. Okay, someone just brought those video of KZN.
For him to
Not sure if it's perfect, the audio.
go out and say, when I propose, when the Gucci ANC level support, I got in our post, only Suti Nina and Fananga the Tabombe. Did he get a weak ANC? Because Utabombe gave me a strong ANC. Zuma should be apologizing to the ANC. Should be apologizing to Ramaphosa. Because he